What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with another tune from the second compilation sent to me by a great friend of the channel, Joseph. Big shout out to you. And yes, the first one and this compilation both have featured a lot of 12-inch mixes, extended mixes, and so on, but this one is listed as an album version. It's called Living in the Plastic Age by the Buggles, and apparently it's from 1980. So the Buggles, it's a name I feel like I should be familiar with, but as I sit here, I can't think of any specific reference. So as far as I'm aware, I have not heard them before. I do like the phrase of the title, and even though we're now 46 years later, it still feels like we have entered a plastic age in which not only is that material more ubiquitously found and manufactured, but there is perhaps a loss of authenticity. There is a dearth of genuine substance, and instead we have the veneer or the facade or indeed the plastic versions of experiences, interactions, and or art that we may have had in past generations. So again, this is of course speculation based on the title. Maybe this phrase will have nothing to do with that, but let's give it a listen and see what I can pick up. This is Living in the Plastic Age, the album version by the Buggles, 1980. I know. heartbeat and respiration. Cardiac arrest. Wow, that's awesome. I love that. And I especially love that main melody, which you hear like vocally and with a couple different melodic like keyboard lines, that bum 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 bum. I really do enjoy that. And I especially enjoyed it in the like xylophone type expression of it. But yeah, like in a way it feels like a mixture of a 70s and early 80s sound to me. By which I mean, like in one respect, it sounds like a musical song from the 70s. And indeed, I've been going through Benny and Bjorn's Chess musical slash concept album, which I realize is a few years ahead of this in time. And this was a bit zanier, maybe sonically or melodically, than what I've heard in that concept album slash musical. But in a way, it reminded me of like a song from that. There was a theatricality to it, and it felt like I was watching a story of this guy. You know, the alarm goes off, and he's getting up, and he's looking at his telephone, and he's talking about the doctor giving him a facelift. Which again, I do think there is something here thematically to this idea of like we have a machine for everything now, and you can use machines and technology to make yourself look differently, to communicate in ways that wasn't possible before. And while some of that is convenient or advantageous, maybe there's a sense that like humanity is becoming more mechanical and becoming more plastic. So yes, again, I'd have to listen to it again and sort of let those lines soak in and digest them more. But it did seem like there's something to that. The metal machine and the mechanical and not necessarily digital, but this again electromechanical life that we're now living, which is very different from the way things were in previous ages. But yes, mixed with that sort of 70s musical theatrical vibe was very much an electric keyboard sounding track that you can tell it's getting into that 80s electronic music direction that the, again, like early synth pop and 80s synth sounds would suggest. So yeah, it feels like it's right on the border between those two, at least to my ears and brain on a first listening. But yeah, definitely a cool one, like vocally too. There was a charisma, again, like a theatrical charisma to the vocals as well. So I really, really enjoyed that one. I don't think I've heard it. There was a moment when it did the first time around of that that melody where it's like, oh, that hits familiarly. I'm not sure if that's even an adverb. But yeah, it felt a bit familiar, and yet the more it went on, it was like, nah, like, it's not coming back where it's like, oh, right, like, I remember this from the radio, or I remember this part coming up. So, I don't know, maybe it's just such a catchy melody that my brain immediately locked into it. So by the second iteration of it, I was immediately thinking, oh, wait, like, I must know this, but I think it's just because I had heard it, and it instantly caught me as like a really catchy tune. So yeah, I really, really enjoyed this one. Thank you again to Joseph. When we come back to the CD next time, it will be I Touch Roses by Book of Love, 1985, and it's the long-stemmed version. I like that. That is a creative name for a particular variant of the track. After that, we've got a Supertramp track, and I have started going through Supertramp. I've been going through Breakfast in America, so this is all well-timed. And yeah, we'll look forward. We're about halfway through. That was literally halfway through, in that was track 6, and there are 12 on the CD overall. So thank you again to Joseph. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time. Peace.